Hey Scorpio, what's going on everybody? It's Ann from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at y'all with your mid-August 2022 tarot reading. How are you? I hope y'all are well. Before we jump into today's video, if you haven't seen the update already, I am currently going to be at my parents' house for a week dog sitting, excuse me. Thank you very much. But besides that fact, that's why I'm not currently in my home office, and that's why the scenery is going to be a little bit different here for you. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and begin, and we'll see what's up, baby, for your mid-August 2022. So what information can I provide here, please, for the zodiac signs of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus coming up throughout mid-August 2022? What information do we got showing up here, please, for the zodiac signs of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-August 2022. Having a look here at your first card out, we do have here the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands could be like a lot of stress on your mind, a lot of stress on yourself, or there could be something I'm seeing too that's not just like mentally straining, it could be very physically straining on you as well. You could be pushing your limits, so if you're a Scorpio and you're in the gym, remember that you need to rest and recover. Muscles need to rest and recover, okay? So take that from a person who used to do arms day like 3 times a week, okay? But like in the sense of like, 3 days consistently in a row. You got to take the day off for rest. Go hit legs or something, right? So if you're working out very hard over here, or doing anything on your body that's very physically straining, make sure you're giving yourself time to recover. Otherwise, you're not going to see growth. You're just going to keep on knocking yourself down. So do keep that in mind, but that works not only physically but also mentally as well. If you are doing something that's very mentally challenging at this time in mid-August 2022, remember to take a step back and rest. Rest is very important because that's what's going to give you the strength to come back better and stronger moving forward. So 10 of Wands. I do feel like there's a lot of stuff here straining. Could be mental, could be physical. So just remember to incorporate your rest and your breaks when they are needed here in the second half of your month. Moving on here to your next card, we do have here the Magician. So the Magician is the energy of showing up, It could be the energy of manifestation and alchemy. But Magician card here could represent showing up for what you care about. So I feel like you have been trying your really darn hardest here to show up for something that you care about or potentially someone, and it's been quite the draining process for you to endure because there's a sense of resistance that's there for you, Scorpio. Moving on to the last two overall energies for your second half of August, you do have here the King of Cups, but you do have here the Ten of Swords. Immediately what I got with these two cards is like, despite the fact that I care, maybe it is time to let go. So despite the fact that I care and I'm putting forth all this effort, maybe it is time to completely let go of this situation. If I'm facing this much resistance, maybe I should let myself flow instead of let myself, still continue to fight against the tide. Now, in reference to whatever the situation is about, whether it's about love or it's about your career or your friends, your family, or anything of that nature, it's definitely really difficult to constantly show up for something that you feel is always resisting you. For example, if you're trying to make things work really well with a partner in love and romance, but your partner isn't willing to work with you, it's incredibly hard to deal with a situation where it takes two to tango. If you're dealing with a career right now and you're putting in so much work and effort and you're showing up every day for your career, but it's like physically killing you, it's making you feel constantly tired and constantly drained, pushing yourself beyond your limit isn't going to make your career grow and expand. What it's going to do is it's going to exert you of your energy and you're going to feel worse with what it is you're doing. So right now I feel like the universe is trying to tell you, take a break from what you're doing, Scorpio. Stop, take a step back for a second here and pull yourself back. You are working too hard right now to make something work that should be pretty effortless for you. And it also gives you a inkling to whether or not a situation is worth it. For example, when it comes towards love, if you're dealing with someone here who's constantly resisting you when you're with a partner in love, it should be so effortless to love one another. It's time to maybe reconsider, am I with the right person? Am I pursuing the right person? Am I pursuing the right love? When it comes towards career, that might be a little bit different and a little bit more tricky because what kind of career do you have? What are you pursuing? Are you pursuing something you love? Now, if you're pursuing something you love in your career, Scorpio, and you're facing difficulties because you're putting in so much work and effort, what I would say for you is take a break. The more that you are in a good energy and the more that you feel like you are on point and focused and rejuvenated, the better of a job you're going to do. So let's say this is about your career. Don't quit or give up on the career that you love. Keep on going forward with it. Keep on going after it. Keep on doing everything you can. But make sure you take your breaks and rejuvenate when need be. Now, let's say you're doing a career, but it's not because you love it, but it's because you want to make a fuck ton of money with it. You see money in that career, but you don't see passion. Then I would say, Ten of Swords here says reconsider. You're not doing something you love. You're basically putting yourself through lots of stress and draining energies just to make ends meet or just to make this amount of money that you see the potential in. But what's going to end up being your downfall is the fact that you're doing something you don't love and that it's taking all the energy out of you, you know? So that would be interesting. As far as what I'm seeing here, it's kind of hard. You have a tricky reading because it's like, on one hand, you're being told to maybe reconsider what you're doing, and on the other hand, some of you Scorpios are being told to take a break from what you love because you just need a break. So it's kind of going to vary from Scorpio to Scorpio on how this reading resonates to you. You know, like I've mentioned, if you're a Scorpio doing a job that you love right now, but you've just been putting way too much energy into it, you know, maybe it's time to pull back, rejuvenate, and show up so that you can do better once you're well rested. But if you're a Scorpio doing a job that you just can't stand, but you see a lot of money potential in it, well, maybe reconsider what you're doing, because if you're not doing something that you love, it's going to end up making this Ten of Wands a heck of a lot worse for you. It's going to make you drained all the time, showing up and doing something that you don't love. You know, when it comes towards love and relationships, if you're with a partner here who's resisting you and is choosing not to do anything positive or anything constructive, they're choosing not to show up for you too, they're not really showing you that they care, maybe you should reconsider that relationship and who you're pursuing. But if you're with a partner and the both of you love each other and the both of you are working towards it, but things have just been rough and hard lately, take a break, you know? So it's more about, do I take this break or do I reconsider? It's going to vary from Scorpio to Scorpio depending on your personal situation, so do take it how this reading resonates to you. All right, that was a lot of information that just shot on through, so let's go ahead and keep it moving forward. I want to have a look here at your surroundings now and see what's up with that. So what's going to be going on here in Scorpio surroundings, please, throughout mid-August 2022, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. First card out, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, you've definitely been surrounded by, do I stay or do I go? Is this worth it? Is it not worth it? You know, you've been surrounded by an energy of constantly having an up and down mentality about what you should do in regards to your situation. You know, looking at the next card, you do have here the Two of Cups. So you're definitely surrounded by something you care about. And I do feel like it's very difficult to give up, you know? When you care about something so strongly, you don't want to give up on it. Moving on to the next card for you, we do have here the Five of Wands, but it's just been a battle. It's been a battle for sure here with the Five of Wands. Things have not been easy. Things have not been easy to overcome. And looking at the last card, Four of Swords, it's like, man, just taking a rest and taking a break and taking some distance, like that would feel so wonderful, you know? I really do need this break. And I think many of you know that deep down below. It's like, I really do need a break from something right now that I care about, because it's starting to become a little bit too much. So looking at what you've been surrounded with lately, you've been surrounded with a lot of inconsistency about what you want to do and a lot of indecision about what you want to do in regards to your situation. And that's why it comes down to what I mentioned earlier in the beginning of this reading. You either have to reconsider what you're doing or you need a break from what you're doing, because one of those two remedies is what's going to solve your problem. But you have to depend, or you have to come to the realization of what your situation needs. Does your situation need reconsideration, or does your situation need a break? You know, that's all going to come down to how your situation is. You know, going back to it for a second, if you're doing a job that you hate, but all you want is money, sure, you care about the money, Two of Cups. But if you hate the job you're doing, it's not going to make you much money, because you're not doing what you love. And because you're not doing what you love, it's going to constantly drain the shit out of you. And because you're constantly drained, you're not going to be focused. And because you're not focused, you're not going to have enough energy to put in the time to do what you got to do to make the money that you want. See what I'm saying? When it comes towards love, let's say you really love a partner, they really love you, you're just having hardships. Well, it's not easy to work on hardships with somebody that you care about when the both of you are so over it, and when the both of you are so drained and you're so tired of trying to work through things. Sometimes a break is needed so that you can rest, they can rest, and then you guys come back stronger. And when you do come back stronger, you fix the relationship, you see? So it's really all going to narrow down to, this entire reading is going to narrow down to, do you reconsider or do you rest? All right? So looking into your surroundings, Scorpio, it's just been difficult, and I don't blame you. I see it. I see it for sure. It's been super difficult. It's been really hard. It's been really on and off. I've been super indecisive about what to do, but now you guys have your answer, you know? All right, let's go ahead and have a look here and see how you've been feeling personally. How have my Scorpio peeps been feeling personally here throughout mid-August 2022? Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. How have my Scorpio peeps been feeling on a personal level throughout the second half of their month? First card out, we have the Two of Wands, indecision. Oh yeah, you've definitely been feeling very indecisive. Moving on to the next card, Page of Wands. And then looking at the last two for you, we also do have here the Empress, and we've had here the Six of Wands. So looking at your personal feelings, you do believe you can overcome the issues and the issues that you're facing currently, which is what I love to see for you. You know, I'm happy that you have a mentality here where it's like, you know what, I believe I can overcome this. You can and you will. With the Page of Wands coming into play though, Page of Wands here for me is the energy that represents your interest, and it represents what you feel passion towards. And it looks to me like right now, you're not sure if you're more interested in going forward or if you're more interested in doing your own thing, right? So that goes back to the energy of indecision. So it's still showing up. I'm indecisive about what to do with my situation that's been draining the crap out of me. You know, I want things to grow and I want things to be successful, and I believe that that's possible. I believe it is. But until I make a choice, I'm not going to get a foothold on what to do next. So the main issue that you guys are dealing with throughout this entire month for you is the issue of figuring out, what am I supposed to do? How do I get this situation to turn around into something positive? You know, if I've been having relationship troubles, but I've been with a partner who's not really right for me, I have to decide whether or not I'm going to break up with this partner. You know, if I have relationship troubles with a partner who really loves me equally and I love them, we need to decide how to take a break and how to come back stronger to make this work. If I've been having issues with my job that I despise, even though I really want a fuck ton of money, maybe this isn't the job for me because I'm never going to feel happy doing what I'm doing. So you know that you can be successful in overcoming these struggles, but it's about having to make a choice here. And that's going to be depending on figuring out, do I rest? Do I reconsider? You know? So I feel like I'm repeating the same thing constantly because that's essentially the main message here for your month ahead. It's like, rest or reconsider. You know, what do I do? What do I do? So you have to have it figured out here in order for you to move forward. And you're confident enough that you'll find your decision, and I truly believe you will. And this is going to be one of those soul-searching months where you really have to be truthful with yourself, honest with yourself, to understand the situation you're involved in. All right, Scorpio, let's go ahead and see what you can expect going forward throughout the rest of your month ahead. What can my beautiful Scorpio peeps expect going forward, please, throughout the rest of the month? Give me one sec, Scorps. I'm not going to pull any more cards. I just need to check something with my camera, so the video is going to cut when I get back. Just give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that, Scorpio. I thought my camera was out of focus for a second because usually at home I have like a monitor to see it more clearly. Now I have to look kind of far away to make sure everything's focused and looking good. So either way, you know, with all this being said, I do feel like I'm kind of repeating the same thing constantly. So this is a big month of soul searching, figuring things out, being honest with yourself and seeing which category you fall in, whether that be rest or whether that be reconsider. Now let's go ahead and have a look here and see what you can expect here throughout the second half of your August and the rest of your August. So what can my Scorpio peeps expect here throughout the rest of their mid-August 2022? Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the second half of August. What can they expect going forward, please, throughout this time? Having a look here at the first card out, we do have the Page of Cups. Moving on forward to the next card for you, we do have here the Sun card, and then looking at the last two cards present, we also do have here the Hermit card, and we have here the Ace of Pentacles. So I definitely think that things are going to get figured out here for you, because when you look at the Page of Cups here and you look at the Sun card, Page of Cups here is about making a choice, making a decision here where to invest your energy. And I feel like what you're choosing to do is, I need to invest my energy into what's going to make me the most happy, you know? So if you're dealing with a relationship with somebody who you know is kind of not for you, is it going to make me more happy chasing after somebody who doesn't care about me, or is it going to make me more happy being single? Probably being single, so I'm going to go ahead and be single. You know, I'm working a job where I see a potential of making a lot of money, but I hate this job. Am I going to be more happy working a job I'm passionate about and maybe making a decent living instead of working a job that I hate? I'll probably be happy going towards the job that I'm happy with and making a decent living on. So overall, it's time to invest my energy in what is going to make me the most happiest. And with the Ace of Pentacles here to the Hermit card, you know, this is about now taking the opportunity of following through with your inner wisdom. When you look at the Hermit card here, the Hermit card could represent, you know, distance, it could represent solitude, but the Hermit is also identified as Merlin, which is a very, very wise man for many of you guys that know history. So with that being said, Merlin being the wisest, right? This is the energy here of saying, I'm going to follow my inner wisdom, and I'm going to take the opportunity here right now to follow through with what my intuition is saying. So I believe for you, Scorpio, you're going to come to the conclusion of what you feel is right for you here in mid-August 2022. And whether that conclusion be rest or whether that conclusion be reconsider, you're going to make sure you're following through with whatever you feel is going to make you the happiest and grant you the best outcome that you can have. So things will be figured out here for you, which I'm very happy to see. So you guys will be on top of it here, all right? And luckily, all this indecision, all this stagnancy, all these draining energies can finally come to an end for those of you that have been suffering with this, all right? All right, Scorpio, let's go ahead and have a look here at the overall outcome for you. What's going to be the overall outcome here, please, for Team Scorpio? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-August 2022. The first card that was out, by the way, was the Eight of Wands. And moving on to the next card now, we do have here the Knight of Swords. Very cool. Eight of Wands here to the Knight of Swords showing up for your outcome. Yeah, everything's changing. Also, no longer is there stagnancy. Energies are finally moving forward here for you. You know, when you were stuck in an indecisive place, or when people are in indecisive energies nonetheless, that means they're in a period of stagnancy because they cannot choose what to do. So you're moving out of a place of stagnancy and you're moving into a place of action. You're getting everything figured out that you need to figure out here, Scorpio, and now with the Eight of Wands coming into play, you're making moves to start going in the direction that you truly want to go into. All right, so Scorpio, everything works out here at the end of mid-August 2022. Officially, everything for you gets figured out, which is what you needed. So whether it's resting, whether it's reconsidering, you're going to go ahead and base what you need to do moving forward based upon that plan, and no longer will you be facing stagnant, draining, and unhappy energies. You're going to move towards your happiness and what you want to do and what feels right, and you're going to follow through with that inner wisdom, and it's really going to make all the difference here for you. All right, Scorpio, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If it does resonate to you, please do let me know down in the comments down below. Have a lovely and amazing rest of your August, and I will catch you in September 2022. If you're new here, do consider subscribing. And with that being said, much love, Scorpios, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.